Hey,
Hey, how's
hi
it going?
everybody.
Oh, it's good to
Welcome
see
to
you.
Routine Checkup. So good to see you. Clay, how have you been?
I've been doing pretty good. Jacob, how about yourself?
Oh, I've been fine. I got my stimulus check. Did you get your stimulus
I
check?
did. I got my stimulus check. I got my Trump bucks. I'm all ready to spend them on something frivolous,
Oh yeah, baby. You know
like
it's the
rent.
frivolous time. I mean, yeah, me too. That's what I'm spending mine on as well. Definitely not a new rifle.
Yeah, I don't think that my apartment complex would go for the rent strike.
No, although I'm in a lease dispute right now with my landlord, and I've had to stop myself twice for being like, legally you can't kick me out until this is over, right? Like I could just squat here and make this a nightmare, or you could cut me the $50 break I'm looking for.
Yeah,
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 but I feel
yeah.
like that's not going to hold up well.
No, I kind of like where I am, so I haven't really been trying to get into that.
I feel you. I don't know if I'm going to be in Pennsylvania much longer than the next year, so I guess I probably shouldn't burn those bridges. But I don't know. I just want less of an increase in my rent due to the whole no one's been allowed to work for 2 months thing.
Well, where are you thinking about going next?
Wherever the Mrs. Jobs take us.
Oh,
Depends on where she gets work. That's the one good thing about being out of work. You
yeah.
don't have to worry about your job when someone else gets a new one.
Yeah, you're truly a 21st century man.
Yeah, I'm almost a man without a home. Lease ends on the 9th.
Oh boy. Wait, this
But
month
anyway, yep.
or this coming month?
No, upcoming month
Yeah.
in May. So they want two rent payments instead of just doing the math and let me do one.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, it's very obnoxious. Anyways, this is Routine Checkup, the show where we do a checkup on all the people that we selected ahead of time
We're checking
to
up
talk
on
about.
their routines.
That's right. What's going on with them during the coronavirus? So, in that spirit, I figured we didn't do this in the last episode. Clay and I should start by answering our questions.
Yeah.
Clay, what's new in Virginia? What's new in your neighborhood?
Well, it is sunny today. It was not yesterday. That's all I can report from inside of my suburban bunker.
Yeah, it was rainy last week. It was sunny this week. Things are going swell. Our governor is apparently talking about plans to reopen the state, although details are forthcoming. That's been 2 days now that they said details are forthcoming, so I don't know. Uh, how are you feeling about the COVID? Do you feel good?
I feel like I've taken the precautions that I can. Still not sure what the long-term effects of it are going to be. Being that it is a new virus and it is possible that it could stay in your body forever, so still not really trying to catch it. Not super psyched about the liberties that are being taken from people, though I would be staying inside regardless.
Yeah, I'm not sure if I'm not trying to catch it. I'm, as always, playing this thing way down. And the only thing about it that's really freaking me out is the government powers that they're trying to take in response to it. I saw Fauci talking about maybe a antibody ID card that the
Yeah.
government would run.
Oh, I saw on Bill Gates's Instagram, he posted a thing, and people were posting comments there faster than they could delete them, saying, "We're not getting the chip. We're not. You're a satanic pedophile." They're posting all this crazy shit to Bill Gates's Instagram, and they're just deleting the comments, and people are just posting more. It was wild.
Yeah, it's got to suck to be Bill Gates.
Yeah,
Don't
must
you
be
feel
tough.
bad for that guy?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, he can't go anywhere. That reminds me of my favorite.
He's truly one of the people. Can't go anywhere.
One of my favorite social media stories is just before the Bill Cosby thing broke wide open. Uh, Bill Cosby asked, like, he went on Instagram, I think, and just said, like, "What's your favorite Cosby sweater?" And it was nothing but people making jokes about puking up a bunch of pills all over themselves after Bill Cosby had their way with them.
Jesus.
Uh, and then it was literally like 2 days later that the whole thing broke, and Bill Cosby is now in jail. Yeah,
All right.
don't tempt the internet.
Yeah.
Uh, all right, I'm going to ask you today's questions.
All right.
So some governments are making plans to reopen their states. Trump seems to want to do it all at once. Today in Michigan, people are protesting their state's onerous rules. So, what would be your metric for reopening your state? And then how would you do it?
Mm, pass.
All right.
I don't have a plan.
My answer My answer probably would have been like after the first 2 weeks, I'd have been like, all right, this is crazy, and I would have let it go. I started looking into what our actual death statistics here are in Pennsylvania, and they're not that high, even though we are, I think, the third or fourth most COVID afflicted state versus us being the most unemployed state at this point. So I would have reopened it a while ago. I guess I don't really know what my metric would be to reopen it. I just want it reopened, so I would reopen it.
Yeah. I just know that if once it gets reopened, that I don't know if you've seen the spike pattern of the Spanish flu, but it kind of like went up and then kind of went down, that went way up, and I think that'll happen as soon as things get reopened because people are like, oh, finally, quarantine's over, we're good to go, and people are gonna go right back to what they were doing, and it's gonna be a lot more people infected and dead.
Yeah, I'm just afraid that that's going to happen regardless. And I would like there to still be some economy and some businesses left by the time I'm allowed back out of my house.
Yeah, I'm still waiting to see what the reinfection situation is, so that will flavor my response.
That's fair. There's been a lot of talk about the new normal for
Yeah.
the world after this thing goes
I'm
away.
so tired of hearing that phrase. If I have to
Me
hear
too.
that phrase again, oh my god.
I know. Well, you're going to hear it at least five
Yeah.
or six more times tonight.
Social distancing, new normal. I'm tired of it. Tiger
Yeah.
King. I asked the questions last week, but now it's like everybody won't shut up about it, and I just.
And they released a new episode this week too.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it sucks. It's
Wow.
just Joel McHale on an iPhone interviewing people from the show.
Is that true?
Yes, with no mixing or anything.
Oh no.
Yeah, it's like dead audio, and people want to shit on Joe for some reason. I don't get it.
Yeah.
All of his closest friends have turned on him. He truly is becoming more and more of a biblical figure every day.
Yeah.
All right. Do we have anyone in the waiting room?
Yeah.
Hello.
Hello.
Hey.
All right. Yeah.
That's all right. We were having audio issues with some other folks too, so we're glad yours is working.
Cool. I didn't know I was coming on so early.
We were having audio issues with some other people too, so I'm glad yours is working. Hey, Paisley. Welcome back. How have you been?
Hey. Good. Good.
How are-
you?
I'm good. Clay's good.
I am doing
How
well.
are things where you are?
Not bad. The weather's nice. Still in quarantine, but can't complain.
Any changes to the quarantine situation in your state since the last we talked?
Not that I've seen. There is a small group that's trying to reopen NC, so that's like a hashtag that's trending in our area for a lot of smaller businesses.
Mhm.
And I know we're still kind of trying to figure out how we're rolling out opening up the state.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, those North Carolina was one of those states that announced, along with Pennsylvania and Ohio and a couple other states yesterday, that they're going to try to. There's also a big protest today happening in Michigan.
Yes.
Yeah.
How are grocery stores looking in your area?
So fun fact, I learned in one of my video meetings, Tuesday is the best day to go grocery shopping. You'll get the least amount of people. But today I actually went to Michael's and they were opened like normal business, even though their website said curbside only. So that was kind of a very weird thing because I placed an order for contactless service.
Mm-hmm.
So grocery stores look like they're continuing the same way. We've got plexiglass and the cashiers are wearing gloves and masks.
But still can pretty much get everything that you need?
Yep.
Are they doing limits on any stuff where you are?
Yes. We have everything that is essential tends to have a limit, whether it be 1 case, 4 cases, something like that. Dollar Tree is surprisingly open. I went in today to get some semi-essential items, and they were only limiting gloves to you could only get 4, and that was for the person in front of me because they were truck drivers who wanted gloves for pumping gas.
Gloves for pumping gas, huh? I would not have thought of that. I wouldn't think of truck drivers as being all that worried about it either.
That is fair.
Yeah, they're usually a hardier folk. All right, well, let's jump into the questions.
Okay.
So you've touched on a little bit. Some governors are already talking about plans to reopen their state. Trump says he wants to do everything all at once, not have everyone do it piecemeal. Michigan, as we talked about, is protesting today over the rules in their state. Sounds like some people are doing the same in North Carolina. Uh, what would be your metric to reopen the state, and how would you want to roll that out?
I think we definitely have some more flattening to do, and I think a slow reopening is the best. I think that those hairdressers, nail salons could have limited people, maybe rotated shifts for those technicians so that they can get back to business because I know they are suffering. And I think that, again, just like a slow rollout, maybe reaching capacities for certain people or places could benefit. But I do agree that things need to open, but I'd much rather us be healthy and not have a second wave be even worse than the first.
Yeah, that's what Clay was saying earlier too. He's worried about the second wave.
Yeah.
People are gonna be
I
very,
think it's
very
inevitable.
eager to get back to hanging out.
What would be the sort of industries you would open up first?
I would say like within like capacity restrictions, I would say opening your direct contact industries, so your hairdressers, your nail salons, beauticians, makeup, things like that. And then I would say trying to open up your restaurants to maybe having like you can eat inside for like 20 people or something like that.
Yeah, that makes sense to me. I would like to get back to work, so I hope the restaurants and bars open up again soon.
Yeah, I definitely miss having a drink for sure with people.
Yeah. I don't make them as good at home as they do at the bar. All right, well let's move on. There's been a lot of talk about a new normal for the world after this whole epidemic is over. Um, what's one thing about the new world that you're looking forward to, and what's one thing about our old normal that you hope sticks around?
Yes. So, the new normal and old normal. Hold on, let me get my answers up because that is a good question.
Sure.
Uh,
Personally, I like handshakes. I hope handshakes stick around. Nothing more fun than when you meet someone's kid brother or something, and you get to break their hand just to show that you're better than them. That's a good
that's
old fashioned male thing to do.
yeah. Um, I personally would like, you know, things that would change. Is that reliability with your employer and health insurance? Because we're seeing a lot of like essential workers being unable to.
Uh-oh.
I'm sorry, Paisley, we sort of lost you there.
Yeah, you're breaking up a little
Like
bit.
kind of.
Oh,
Oh, okay, I'm gonna move a couple of feet closer to my router
all right.
Sure, yeah.
and hope that that helps.
It is certainly a gorgeous day outside in North Carolina, that's for sure.
All right. Yes, yes, I can't complain, and I definitely need some sun from being inside. I would like to say I hope will change is that healthcare won't be tied to your job because I think that that's a lot of scare in the area. One thing that I've liked so far from the quarantine is maybe realizing you have the ability to work from home for certain professions. That maybe a priority should be maybe spending time with your friends and family, as a lot of people aren't able to right now, and that would be nice to maybe make that a more priority moving forward.
Sure. And what was the thing from our old way of doing stuff that you want to keep?
The old way is honestly going out for trivia nights and game nights and going to the bar. It's not the same to do a virtual hangout by any means.
No, as we just demonstrated, right? The breakups and when people start talking over each other, it starts dropping out. It's yeah, you used to have to be the most funny or interesting guy at the table to get everyone's attention. Now you just need to have a better
Well,
microphone and internet connection.
Or you just start the room and mute everybody else.
I agree. I agree with that statement, and I'm not a fan of that because you can't have good conversations when only one person is kind of hogging the microphone and you can't talk to everyone else.
Hey, it's impossible to have a side conversation on the Zoom chat too.
Yeah, unless I guess you like divide your group meeting.
Yeah. All right. Our last question for this week. People have started receiving their stimulus checks.
Yeah.
We're all going to, of course, be responsible and pay the stuff we're supposed to. But imagine if you can that we're going to be a little reckless with it. What would you spend your stimulus money on?
So I would spend it on records. This Saturday was supposed to be record store day, but it's moved to June 20th. So that, and then of course travel. I would be on a plane to visit my family or going someplace different that I can't go to. That would be where I'd spend the money.
Yeah, no, that makes sense. I was actually just saying earlier today, if you're someone who needs LASIK, I bet as soon as this is over, that'd be a great time to do it because all these hospitals are going out of business due to the shutdown.
Yeah.
So I bet they'll offer some great specials.
Yeah, unfortunately, I tried to do LASIK, and the doctors were like, "Your eyes are too bad to even try."
Oh no.
Oh, wow. They
Yeah.
should have some bedside manner, those doctors.
Yeah.
What's one story or one thing that you caught this week that you thought didn't get enough attention?
So this is kind of my industry. Monday was Global Meetings Industry Day, and we attempted on Monday to have the world's largest virtual meeting. We were about 3,000 people short. The largest meeting is 17,000 people. So that was kind of more or less a funny story to share with everyone.
That's everyone together able to talk? Like, is that what the meeting rules are? Or is it just people watching a live stream?
People watching a live stream in a meeting space.
Okay.
Yeah. So if you have over 18,000 people who view at the same time, like right at 10 o'clock, you could win a world record.
Huh.
Wow. I didn't know that.
Yeah.
There
And
are
then,
some live streamers that pull those numbers.
yeah, I wouldn't surprise me. I'm sure that there's a different world record for gaming, too. So that I think would be, it's a little more lighthearted than a lot of what's going on right now, but still
No
kind
problem with
of
that.
interesting. It's still interesting, and meeting planners are kind of in a weird place because we are unable to have people together, and venues are are struggling.
I believe it. 14,000 people is nothing to sniff your nose at, though. That's pretty good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's kind of cool to say I've been in an attempted world record. I have not done that before Monday.
Yeah. Well, congrats.
Yeah.
So, one thing off the bucket list.
Yeah.
So aside from trying to break world records on meetings, what are you doing? Watching, reading?
Monday I made a Dole Whip using the Disney recipe.
A what?
A Dole Whip. It's a pineapple ice cream. Which was kind of
Dole,
fun.
like DOLE, Dole.
Yes,
Okay.
like the pineapple brand.
Oh. And
Yeah.
like Cool Whip.
Yes, only Dole Whip. And that was really easy to make and kind of fun because you'll feel like you're going to Disney. And I have an adult coloring book which has curse words in it, and I've been coloring. That's pretty much the only fun stuff that's been going on.
Hey, what's your favorite curse word to color?
I would say fucking amazing is pretty good.
Yeah, a lot of is that in is it straight letters or sort of bubbly letters?
Bubbly letters.
Yeah, gotta do bubble letters.
Yeah. Or like the nice cursives with the things on it. It's pretty good.
All right. Well, Paisley, thank you for joining us. Stay safe where you are, and we'll check in again with you soon.
Yes, you guys do the same, and thank you for having me.
Of course. Bye. Hey, Ryan, welcome back to the show. Good to see you.
Howdy. How's it going?
Good. How are things in your neck of Pennsylvania?
Going pretty well. Smooth as usual. Our case numbers are up, but, what are you going to do?
Hey, so are everybody's, right?
Well, unfortunately.
Yeah, that's the thing about a pandemic.
Mm-hmm.
Any developments in your area in particular or statewide that you think are interesting?
Well, things seem to be calming down. A lot of people are opening up a bit, and even the governor has been responsive. Wolf has been responsive of, maybe it's time to open up. It seems like it's not nearly as bad as they thought it was going to be. They've been really on top of the numbers. But so far, not a lot of movement.
Yeah, I agree. He's talked about it, but I haven't seen any actual plans.
Yeah.
Well, that brings us to our first question, which is, since the governor's talking about it, lots of governors talk about it, doing it different ways. Trump seems to indicate that he thinks it should be done all at once. Today in Michigan, people are protesting. If you were going to open it up, what would be the metrics you use to decide on how to open it up, and how would you do it?
It's tricky in many ways. It depends on if I were acting as governor or president or dictator or whatnot.
Let's say dictator. It makes hypotheticals easier to answer.
That's fair. I would go roughly the way South Korea did it. And if I have ultimate control, I would just simply look at where people are infected, mandate testing, release the information, and go from there. Luckily, we're in a free society. And from there, I would go with the Swedish option and let people make the choices for themselves. If businesses feel comfortable opening, let them open. If people feel comfortable working, let them work.
Swedish model is also the one where they're taking old folks and sort of sequestering them at home and providing services for them, right?
In some respects, yeah, in a lot of places. Well, because they're at most risk. So.
Yeah, and I was hearing something the other day that there's talk about maybe that's how we'll have to end up doing it here. Which, yeah, boy, if we went through all this and then Sweden was just doing that to begin with, I'm going to be pissed.
Well, that's one of the some things I'll probably touch on later when we talk about new normals, but yeah, I definitely think that this, like so many catastrophes predicted in the past, seems like it wasn't nearly as bad as we were told it was going to be.
I agree. And let's just jump right into it then. You touched on it. I've asked the question before, but there's talk of new normals. Once this thing is all gone, what's something that you hope sticks around from our old way of being, and what's something that you hope the new normal will incorporate?
I hope that people will remember just how much that we were told at the beginning, every step of the way, and all the things that kept changing as they kept moving the goalposts. The first estimates were 2.5 million dead by summer. Then it was 250,000. Now it's 60,000 in the first year, maybe. These massive changes to our economy to the point where something like 50% of small businesses might not recover if we stay closed too much longer. These are massive impacts to our economy because there are certain individuals that think it's in their best interest, either politically or advantageously in terms of getting clicks, to just create panic and chaos. And hopefully people will be a little bit more cautious the next time someone says that the sky is falling.
Yeah, I agree with that. And what's something that you hope doesn't go away because of the experience we all went through?
I think washing our hands is probably a good thing.
Yeah, I agree.
Beyond that, there are a lot of people that are stuck with piles and mounds of toilet paper and have personal protection equipment laying around that they don't know what to use, and they have guns that they don't know how to use. And hopefully that they realize that things have been a bit silly and they'll try to be more responsible in the future.
Yeah, everyone keeps saying, they hopefully handshaking that'll go away because it's gross.
I'd be okay with that. Yeah.
I like handshaking.
Finger guns.
But, I love finger guns. Finger guns are the way to go.
Oh, yeah.
But I don't know. The people who are really excited for handshaking to go away make me feel like they haven't been washing their hands before this thing started. Why do you think hands are so gross?
Because in many ways they are.
Yeah, I'm the opposite. I never washed my hands and don't care about handshaking.
Well, fair enough.
It's the survival element. If they're done, if you wash your hands all the time, you need a little bit of grit. You need a little bit of dirt in the system,
This is a true thing.
Lick a doorknob once a year and you'll be healthier for it for the rest of your life.
Well, it has to be someone else's doorknob. If it's your doorknob, you already got all that stuff on you.
Fair enough. And licking your own doorknob's a terrible way to pass the time in COVID-19.
It's true. All right, let's move on to our last question. People started receiving their stimulus checks. Mm-hmm. We're all going to use it to pay our bills, obviously. But if we were going to have some fun with it, what would you do with that money?
I'm not sure. I'd like to come up with some sort of a cool answer, but I'll probably blow it on something silly like ammo or fish sticks. I really don't know what I'd spend it on. I have no idea.
That's the combination? Ammo and fish sticks?
Well, with those two, you can get quite a bit accomplished.
That's true.
I might
All right.
spend it on a chainsaw or something helpful, hopefully, but more than likely it'll go to furnace next year or something.
Are
I
you
don't know.
going to get that chainsaw attachment for your AR-15?
No, that just seems completely irresponsible and front heavy.
Yeah, it sure does.
Yeah.
All right. What's a story or something that went on this week that you don't think got enough attention?
Well, in terms of this week, a lot of it is just watching some of the contrasts. I touched on a little bit before the Swedish model. I've really been interested in watching the way that they're doing it, and essentially they're not having any mandated government closings, nothing. It's just all about personal responsibility, and it seems to be working for them, and they're staying the course. And good on them. But beyond that, I think a lot of people, I don't know, I don't think a lot of people have followed it, and those that have been skeptical of it.
Yeah, I think people are starting to tune it out.
Mhm.
All right, and then our last question: what you been doing?
Not a lot, really, beyond working because I'm an essential employee. So even Governor
Liquor
Wolf
store?
is
You work
fine.
at a liquor store?
No, actually,
Not in
Governor Wolf
Pennsylvania.
doesn't think. Yeah, no.
Oh.
No liquor stores in Pennsylvania.
Oh, that's right.
Those are not essential here.
Yeah,
but,
Ohio just announced they might be busting people who come in to buy stuff from Pennsylvania as well. So it's Delaware and Ohio have both made it very clear that they don't want people coming over. And then some township in New Jersey passed a law saying no thanks, but it's
well,
not a
they better-
township near my border.
They better remember that come 4th of July when they want fireworks.
Yeah, no
but-
kidding.
But personally, I've just been consuming the usual media, watching gameplay videos, and that's mostly it.
Watching what videos?
Right now, I'm watching a playthrough of Doki Doki Literature Club.
Oh.
What
Wait.
is that?
Did you say gateway videos?
No gameplay.
Gameplay.
Oh, sorry. Must have jumped. That must have been an audio thing.
No,
All right, I understand now.
yeah, Doki Doki Literature Club is well, for those that are feeling lonely in these terrible times of pandemic and are stuck in by their own, they can play a very wholesome, highly rated dating sim on Steam, and it's a really nice and cutesy way to pass the time. And I'm watching people play that because them playing it, watching them play it is entertaining. If that makes any sense.
I'm curious.
Yeah,
Okay.
I am curious too.
Have you played the Final Fantasy VII remake?
No, I never played any of the Final Fantasies.
That's the only one I've ever played through.
It's
Well
pretty
enough to play it
good.
twice.
Yeah. And I was planning on getting a PS4 right when it came out, and then this fucking pandemic hit, and I had to pinch my money. And then I was like, all right, these Trump bucks are coming. I can finally get a PS4. And everyone else had the exact same idea. No more PS4s.
Mm-hmm. It's a good way to spend it.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, Ryan, thanks for being with us, and we'll talk to you again soon, all right?
Of course.
All right, take care. Oh, hey.
Hello. Oh, wow. Hey,
Hey,
you're supposed
Officer
to be
Brian.
you're supposed to be inside, not out in the desert.
That's the conditions I'm in right now.
Well, as long as you don't go to the Oasis, you'll probably be pretty socially distanced, right?
Yeah, no, it's hot out here.
Yeah, I could tell from the open shirt and the chain.
Oh yeah.
This is Brian Williams, everybody. His name's wrong in the Chiron, but
Oops.
it's Bryan. Isn't that right, Brian?
That
Yes,
was
sir.
my fault.
That's all right. We tried to get you on for the first episode, but you are an essential worker. You've been down at Amazon, huh?
Mr. Bezos has been treating me well. You know.
Yeah.
Good.
You look like you collect
Good.
money from Mr. Bezos right now.
He's
You're allowed to remain employed.
absolutely. Hey man, he's paying me 17 an hour right now to fucking drive a forklift.
Nice.
You have a forklift license?
It's a pit license. It's basically a forklift. It's a forklift with a platform on it. So like, it raises you up with a cage. You load the cage with the big ass items. That's where I work at. Is where they keep the big shit.
Okay, so it's not a forklift though, because you just told you told me you're getting $17 an hour for a $28 an hour job, and I was like, what's happening here?
It's not a forklift. It's kind of like a forklift. It has forks on it.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Yeah, forklift operators make a lot of money.
Well, so that's the thing. I can actually get a lot of these certifications at Amazon
Hmm.
and then go on to another warehouse.
So overall, working at Amazon, you think it's a good deal?
Yeah, no, definitely. Not to mention, I'm getting paid 30 an hour on overtime
Nice.
That is actually pretty good
Yeah.
because I still haven't got my unemployment, and there's a couple Amazon warehouses nearby.
days.
Yeah. So we know where you're at. You're down in Virginia. We've sort of covered all that. How do you feel about the quarantine?
Um, it hasn't changed for me because I was out of work for about 2 months before this happened. So I wasn't going anywhere or doing anything anyway. Didn't really interrupt my life too much. Um, I was trying to find a job. It did make things harder trying to find a job.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And that was one of the things that I was really upset with is like the reason we got stimulus checks today. I was like, it's going to be difficult for people to find jobs. There needs to be something happening for people that are not going to be able to find jobs. These essential businesses can't employ everybody.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
know?
No, I know. I was working in restaurants and bars, and now I'm not working.
It's not as easy as, hey, go to Walmart distribution and put in your application. They'll hire you right away. They can't take in everybody.
Yeah, I hear unemployment's a little higher than normal right now.
Yeah, unemployment's getting the good end of the stick. I used to work for the Employment Commission, the Virginia Employment Commission. Um, One of our other associates, Mike Engel, works there. Um, anyway, uh, yeah, no, it's crazy. I used to get partial unemployment when I worked there because I was a seasonal worker. People are getting like $600 extra a week. It's crazy.
Kind of makes you feel like a fool for working, doesn't it?
What? Yeah, a little bit.
I like how you went to
Well,
answer it differently.
Yeah, but once it's
yeah.
over, then you will have a job and you will be
That's true.
regarded more than people who hopped on after their $600 ran out.
Well, yeah, but they don't have to jump through hoops looking for a job. They've waived all that crap.
What do you mean?
Like usually when you get unemployment, you have to put that you're applying for jobs. With the COVID-19 thing being let go over COVID-19, I think they waived all that.
You still have to say that you're looking for a job, and I don't know if you have to like prove it so much, but you still got to file your weeklies and everything.
Oh yeah, no, definitely. You do have to file weeklies, but I don't think you have to put in what you applied for or anything like that.
Oh, yeah, I haven't seen that.
Yeah.
All right. Well, let's.
Usually,
Oh, go ahead, bud.
no, that was it.
All right. Well, let's jump into it. As you saw the questions.
Yes.
All right. So some governors are making plans to reopen their economy. Trump says he wants to do it all at once. People are protesting today in Michigan, but eventually these things are going to have to reopen. So if you were God, if you were the man in charge and could lay down any rules you wanted, what would be your metrics for reopening, and then how would you do it?
My metrics for reopening would probably be, the moment we get a widespread vaccine for COVID-19 to protect everybody with immunodeficiencies. Because we have to protect people that can't protect themselves. They can't fight this virus on their own. That would be my big thing for opening most, businesses back up, the economy back up. Unfortunately, my hands would be tied until then. I couldn't have that on my conscience.
With the glasses and the mustache, you look so much like a cop, and with that answer too, you really sold me. All right. Well, we have that vaccine. It started to get rolled out. How would you start reopening the economy? What sort of things would you open first?
So essential businesses, I would start opening dining rooms in restaurants back. Those are desperately needed. The people that serve food in restaurants are suffering right now. Um,
Hear
I
you
would
loud and
start
clear, Brian. You need open mics to reopen. Got it.
not just that. Stores opening all their departments back up, letting more people into the store than just one person per fucking whatever, how many feet, whatever, having lines outside of Walmart, like stupid shit like that. Um, you know, but that, it's hard to say what I would do first because that's a lot of pressure. Um, don't really know what I would do first. It's one of those things I wouldn't know until I was in that situation.
That's fair.
I hope you would know if you're in that situation, because I feel the same way. I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. So there's been a lot of talk about a new normal for the world after this is all over. What is one thing from our old world that you hope doesn't go away, and one thing in the new world that you hope does change?
So the old world, I think, bickering over politics
You want that to
Does it seem-
stay or to change?
to change. I want that shit to change, man. The bickering over politics, people have become very sensitive. We feel it as comedians. It can be good and bad, holding people accountable, but also nitpicking. It's a double-edged sword. I want that to go away. I want people to feel like we're all in quarantine, having to social distance with each other.
Mhm.
We're all having to be apart from each other. Can't we just enjoy being around each other once this shit ends?
And what's one thing that you hope doesn't change then, I guess, right? Because you want the bickering about politics to change. So what's one thing you hope doesn't change?
The one thing I hope doesn't change is people wanting to fight me over the internet. No, I'm kidding. So
I find if you want people to fight you over the internet, good way to do it, talk politics.
no, dude. So I feel like it's hilarious that somebody wanted me to meet them to fight during social distancing. That's hilarious. They told me to meet them in a stairwell.
Like a specific stairwell or just a stairwell?
I think they said like Libby Hill or something like that. This dude was a clown.
Hey, motherfucker, that stairwell better be over 6 feet wide.
The only thing I've ever done in stairwells was make out in middle school.
Was that before the quarantine?
Yes.
Oh, good, good. Wow, with the mustache.
Okay.
I like the mustache. It's a good look.
I
I
think
agree.
so too.
All right. Finally, people have started receiving their stimulus checks. Obviously, you're going to use that money to pay your rent and everything else that the government gave it to us for. But if you were going to be reckless and buy some foolish shit with it, what would you get?
Ooh, I talked about this on Facebook Live just before this had this happened. I actually did some research a couple of weeks ago. A sex doll is between $900 and $1,200, roughly. The only problem is a Nintendo Switch would probably make me happy as well.
It's a different
hard
kind
to
of happy,
figure
though.
out.
Maybe a more lasting happiness.
Well, so it's hard to know which one's going to make me happier because a sex doll has a vagina, but Nintendo Switch has Luigi's Mansion 3,
Yeah.
and I heard that's pretty good.
Yeah, so the sex doll has something you could put it into, and Luigi's Mansion has something that could suck. So that's
If only you had a
Absolutely.
sex doll attachment for the Switch.
right.
Oh my god! So, and that's the crazy thing. Like, just the sex doll by itself is like between $900 and $1,200. Then you have all these extras you have to add on: hair color, storage. They have a couch that's $700 that has a lock on it, so you can keep people from opening it. And it's
I do feel
$700.
like if I had a $1,200 sex doll in my house, I would want the lock.
No, absolutely. And so, do I want to be roped into having all those other add-ons? This is like buying a car at that point. And so, the only
Yeah, but
other
with way
option-
less resale value.
Yeah, and the only other option for storage is like hooks you can hang in your closet, and that just like either way, you feel like a serial killer. And I
Like
don't
meat
want that.
hooks?
Yeah, pretty much. You just hang the parts on the hooks, and I don't like that. I don't want to go to that territory.
I feel like I would dress it up in normal clothes, put it on the couch, and put a book in its hands.
Clay, I said that exact same thing on Facebook Live earlier, like a weekend at Bernie's type situation with a windbreaker tracksuit. And
Yeah,
sunglasses.
I was thinking just like an orange safety vest, and then you tell people you do training on the weekends, and that's your
I'm
mouth dummy.
Dude,
Oh yeah, get some resuscitation instructions and just leave it laying
Yeah.
conspicuously
Tell 'em.
next to it.
just tell them it's a new Amazon associate. That's how the warehouse works. All the people that are like trainers and problem solvers, they fuck the new girls. That's how every warehouse works.
All right. I gotta say, this has been the most enlightening of these that we've done. We've certainly touched on a wider range of topics than we thought we would.
Yeah, definitely bringing some flavor to it.
Hey,
Absolutely.
just so we can give everybody the full context, where are you buying these sex dolls? These discount sex dolls that either come in a trunk you can lock them in, or a hook you can hang them on.
Oh, let me find the website for you. I think it's bestlovedoll.com.
Oh, well, you want to go with that one because it's right there in the name. That's the best one.
We'll have to bleep that out until they pay us.
Yeah.
Yeah, bestlovesexdoll.com.
That's,
BestLoveSexDoll.com.
Yeah,
that's made
they
in
have, like-
America.
They have like anime ones. They have Harley Quinn, which was almost a selling point for me.
Like cartoon Harley Quinn or Margot Robbie.
A mixture. She doesn't look that real.
Well, I would think any plastic woman wouldn't look that real.
You'd
Well,
be
there's some of
surprised.
them that do.
And this is the
Yeah.
whole doll. It's not just parts.
No, it's not just part. It's not just like some decapitated torso you're fucking.
Comes with feet and everything else.
Yeah,
Yes.
This is $1,200 Trump bucks doll. This is no.
Yeah. This
Yeah,
is Donald Trump loving. Uh,
and this one you don't have to get to sign an NDA.
yeah. Exactly. I mean, Trump's gonna facilitate me staying in quarantine.
Yeah, that's how you
Well,
do
after it's over.
it. Yeah.
All right, Brian. Well, I did not expect it all to go that way. Hey, what's one story that you think is hasn't been talked about enough or think went missed this week?
So it's not even a story that's happening this week. It's just the shit that's happening the whole time. People just not looking up facts. Conspiracy theorists that want to tell you you're wrong because some guy in Ohio is clued in to some shit that we don't know.
Like what?
Like microchips in the vaccine. They're not going to accept the vaccine because there's going to be microchips in it. They're going to fucking bring on the new world order.
But if
Hey.
there were microchips, would you get it?
Yes, that brings us closer to being cyborgs. I want a robot dick.
You want a fake woman and a robot dick?
Yes.
Can you just play The Sims at that point?
No. that only takes you so far.
All right. I just for the record, if the vaccine had microchips in it, I don't think I would get it.
I also would not get a microchip.
Why the hell not? They're gonna know where you're at anyway.
Same reason I don't have a smartphone. I do not like
That's
being
fair,
tracked.
Clay. If you're off the grid, that's different.
Yeah,
If
I
you
just
use-
there's something about having computer components installed in me that I'm not a huge fan of.
I spend
Unless
my
I get
money
like super
recklessly
strength or
with
something.
I spend my money recklessly with a debit card. Imagine what I would do if I could just scan my arm.
You know, instead of having the vaccine, instead of having to get a chip to do that, you could just get like a watch.
Yeah, I guess I could.
I guess you could.
Didn't think about that.
Uh,
Wait, I did. I have a watch. It's not smart.
well, you could get a smartwatch with the Trump bucks instead of a
I
sex
do.
doll.
I have an Apple Watch.
There
It
you go.
works.
All right, and then finally, in all this downtime, aside from getting in fights with conspiracy theorists on the internet, what you doing?
What am I doing? Working at Amazon, trolling the internet, watching you guys broadcast, stuff like that. Really, what I've been doing is trying to play more guitar, trying to figure out what to do with all this creative energy. We haven't been able to get on stage in a while, and that tends to make you feel a bit empty.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's tough trying to do stuff to better yourself when the internet is just right there, ready to just take all your time away from you.
So my thing is I want to do something original, and nothing's original, so it kind of feels like I'm spinning my wheels trying to figure out something that's different from something else.
Bitcoin was original.
Speaking of Bitcoin, talked about investing money today.
So what are you doing with this $1,200? You getting a Switch? You getting a sex doll? You investing in cryptocurrencies? What are you doing with it?
I don't know. I might buy some stocks. Might buy some cannabis stocks, some cannabis companies doing some real good things. I might, between The Witcher and Cyberpunk, I think CD Red is a good stock to buy.
Are they
They're
a
just-
publicly
they're-
traded company?
Yes, they're trending upward, dude. 76% a year.
Well, you live and you learn, huh?
Yeah.
All right, Brian. Well, thanks for being on the show, buddy.
No worries. I hope this was as irrelevant as I wanted it to be.
Yeah, you're the. You said it's hard to be original, but no one else brought up sex dolls
Yeah, that
or
was
stock and weed companies.
Yeah, well,
definitely
it's
entertaining.
becoming more legal every day.
The sex doll?
Yeah, sex dolls, weed.
Every
Keep
day
the
it's
weed
getting
in your
closer to being
sex
18
doll.
years old.
Yeah,
All right, buddy. It's good talking to you. Thanks for joining
It was
us.
All right,
absolutely.
have a good
All
one.
right. Take care.
All right.
Wow.
Yeah. I got nothing. Well, actually, I got one last question for you because I wasn't expecting to answer the question since I didn't last time, so I didn't really read over them and get answers prepared. So I'll ask
So,
you a
hold on.
question.
Before you go into this, doesn't it seem like they're taking the money out of your check so they can buy people sex dolls? Doesn't that seem like a conspiracy? Doesn't it seem like something you would hear Alex Jones screaming about?
If more
They're taking
people,
the money out of your check so they can buy sex dolls so they can neuter America.
if more people had brought it up than Brian just now, then I'd say you might be onto something. But you still might be onto something. We'll have to see how that plays out.
Yeah, we'll have to look at bestsexdoll.net or whatever it was and see if their stock has gone way up after this court date's over.
All right, so I will ask you a question that you were
Sure.
not prepared for. If it turned out that what I'm fearing turned out to be true, if this disease stayed with you and flared up every once in a while till you died, would that change your outlook on how we should respond to it?
I guess the honest answer would be yes, but I don't know how much. Because
Like essentially, just imagine it's airborne AIDS, basically.
yeah, so that's what I was thinking in my head. But nowadays, if you get AIDS, I mean, it sucks, but you have to take pills and you'll be fine for basically ever. You probably take better care of yourself because you know you have this condition that could come back at any point in time or like really compromise you. I don't know. I don't know. I mean, to me, the question keeps bouncing back in my head to, is it better trade to stay in your house for the rest of your life?
Until something can be done about it, or until well, my plan is to save up this money, buy some land, and then have a self-sustaining place away from lots of people, and then I won't have to worry about it.
But you'll be alone
No, I'll take a wife.
by force.
No,
You'll raid a
no,
village.
no, consensually.
You'll,
It's
you'll
a turn
be-
of phrase.
You'll be Clay Shoaf, the Cabbage King. People will be bringing their daughters to you in exchange for cabbages. You'll be gifted a wife.
Yeah.
And that will only help you increase your cabbage output. So it's a win-win-win.
All right, well,
Oh,
that's gonna
I think this went well.
that's gonna do it for us for this one. We'll see you guys on the next episode.
Yeah,
All right.
absolutely. Routine checkup. Bye.
Bye.